There will be plenty of people bitching at me saying that baseball isn't a real sport. It's too boring and offers no tension, you'll say. Well, my friend, you obviously haven't seen it in October. Such a time is full of incredible drama with every second leading to an ultimate climax. This is what the long slog of a season is for, and these are the 8 teams fighting for the grand prize. Let's meet them, shall we? Let me throw down a scenario for you. A team is looking to push for a playoff berth, yet has every single obstacle thrown in their path. The gods laugh at you as you cry out for help. The dead piling up like a mass grave during the Black Death. Nothing will fix it. Yet they keep finding ways to thrive. It's the classic philosophy of every coach known to man. Next man up. That's the Yankees. No matter what wrench is thrown into their plans, they find ways to keep setting the table. Unsung heroes sprouting up as if they are crops ready to be harvested. That is the reward of Manhattan. It's exactly what we wanted to see. Giovanni Urshela, Mike Tauchman, and Matt Ford emerging as legitimate bats. Now the true test begins. How much will be enough? Will the team finally break after having everything try to fuck with them? Or will the evil empire reign supreme once again? Despite their rivals' elimination, they always have to one-up the Red Sox. They won a World Series last year, why can't they? I mean, if you exclude all of the injuries, there's a strong chance. I must say I'm surprised at this result. Trends keep pointing to an eventual cooldown of the Twins in every facet, yet they'll find a way to keep the winning ways up. They will deceive no one. Their main strength is in the home run, a valuable commodity in this day and age. When you hit over 300 in a season, that's what we call a gift. That is the honor of Minnesota. Even then, there are many questions that linger about the viability of this squad. Do they have enough to push towards the main prize? Will Taylor Rogers continue his impressive streak of dominance as a closer? Is there another plan besides hitting home runs? Even worse, they must face off against their boogeyman. Yes, Minnesota, you're going against the Yankees. If anything has been proven over the past 5 years, curses are meant to be broken. Why not continue the trend? The world will love you for it. Pretty please? The team in front of you needs no explanation or lecture about their talents and strengths. The Astros are locked and loaded with the finest weapons baseball has to offer. Outstanding starting pitching, a murderer's row of bats, a strong bullpen. There is little want for such an adversary. A squad that has been preparing for a playoff run all year will finally have its shot. Just look at that rotation. Garrett Cole striking everyone out is just one of many weapons. Verlander locked in as always, and oh yeah, a convenient add of Zach Greinke. Not much I say can further emphasize the talents from top to bottom throughout this organization. If there was ever a time to win another World Series, by God, this is it. The problem for them may merely be in themselves. It's happened before. A team looks past their opponent, takes them lightly, and succumbs to failure. That will be their greatest challenge. Most bets are on Houston to win it all, but there will be plenty looking to upend them again. Such is the unsung franchise they're facing, in fact. Step inside the circus tent and see a spectacle of outcasts and castaways. Baseball's version of Little Annie's orphanage are merely mudlarks, searching through the River Thames for any sort of valuable commodity. The names on this team are far from household, but if you look closely, you'll recognize a few of them. They may have been your DFA'd players, your players to be named later in trades, your former prospects, those that were released by other teams. The Rays have taken these unwashed masses and converted them into a hive mind of efficient baseball. Well-balanced, ruthless attacks that can strike from anywhere, the name on the back not important. To gain an advantage with a shoestring budget, they must innovate and always be looking forward. Tampa Bay does this. Now we shall see what true talents there may be. And what better way to do that than to take down a machine in Houston? Yes, it'll probably end in a very tragic destruction like most rebellions, but god damn it, I want to believe! Do you hear that sound, Atlanta? It's your war cry. This is your time. Look at the skill you have on display in your hitting core. The talent of Acuna with the power of Freeman and the bringer of rain. Quite possibly one of the best in baseball, complemented by a pitching core that's gotten its act together over the past few months. Legitimate depth at nearly every position. The rebuild has borne outstanding fruits, but they've been quite mediocre this month. They haven't been dominating as they should, but merely passable. The lack of form may be this team's death blow if they aren't careful. It's happened numerous times before in the past. The Braves wouldn't be the first team to squander such abilities. I honestly hope they aren't part of that vast graveyard in a few weeks. Time will only tell if this is the case or not. Maybe my signs of praise earlier was their kiss of death. I should really stop talking. Congratulations, Cardinals! You were the somewhat lucky recipients of a division title to an NL Central no one wanted to win. I will say, for a team that was looking pretty iffy heading into the All-Star break, they did their usual stunt. You know which one I'm talking about. The trick where they develop magical powers and pull incredible talent seemingly out of their ass. Look at it. Tommy Edman? Who the hell is that, and why has he been one of their best hitters? As I tried to decipher the sorcery of strong player development, St. Louis boasts one of the best pitchers in baseball in Jack Flaherty. He has been absolutely dominant over these past few months and makes the Cardinals into a tough out any way you put it. If only Paul Goldschmidt could play against the Pirates every day, I'd have you as locks to have another miracle run. Despite the inconsistency of your main bats, I think it's possible. It would force Chicago to wince in pain as well as the rest of baseball. Try to get past Atlanta first, though. Baby steps. I don't have to say anything to kiss your ass. I know damn well what your team brings to the table. The young talents, the starting pitching, the elite players that litter the roster as if they are simply excess goods. The problem is all that isn't good enough. It's World Series or bust. Being that close to that glory yet missing out on it again continually leaves a burning hole in their minds. They want another crack at it, no matter the cost. Unfortunately, this time there may be a fatal flaw with this Dodger squad. The back end of the bullpen. Kenley Jansen hasn't been his dominant self this year, and they did nothing to rectify it. If a blown lead or two is their demise, there will only be regret. I would feel bad, but it would be your own fault and no one else's. No analytics in the world will be able to calculate such wasted opportunities. Just invest everything in Joe Kelly. Trust me, it'll be worth it. There is something to be said about a team that's experienced the pits of despair. Back in May, the Nationals were a disaster scene. 19-31, well out of the playoff picture with cold bats and a bullpen with an ERA over 7. It's at this time when the baseball gods, after years of torment, showed mercy to the former Expos. They rebounded in most facets, led by an MVP-caliber performance from Anthony Rendon. A talented young core of Juan Soto, Trey Turner, and Victor Robles solidifying their renaissance. With starting pitching led by Scherzer and Strasburg, you'd think all would be well, but then an ugly truth rears its ugly head. That thing they call a bullpen. It hasn't gotten much better since May. And worse, they'll have to play a team with oodles of depth in the Dodgers. I'm not going to say you're screwed, but the same thing I told the Blue Jackets. If you're going to ever win a playoff series, do it here. The laughter that will come from our bellies at their flopping will be incredible. This is why it needs to be done. If Dave Martinez doesn't get in this team's way, of course. To curse teams this year or not to curse? It's a strange predicament. Whomever I pick to go to the World Series will be at my throats for allegedly jinxing them, but then again, I really don't give a shit. What do I even think, though? You can make the arguments for all 8 teams, but I'm going to roll with the clash of Southern hospitality. Atlanta against Houston. I know betting on the Braves is a dangerous proposition, considering their storied postseason past, but if I've been taught anything, it's that narratives are meant to be broken. Even this is a reality. Maybe not for me, that's too optimistic.
Line drive, base hit to right. That'll score 1, that'll score 2 as the ball gets away from Grisham and right. That's gonna score 3 runs, and the Washington Nationals have the lead.